I'm going to edit the second photo now. As you can see, I had the camera in black and white, so the thumbnail shows up as black and white, but once it's imported, it should be in color. There we go. Exposure is also way too low. Not sure how that happened. I'm going to bump it up about 2 stops right away before I hit develop. There we go. That looks much better. To start with, I'm going to add a brightness and contrast adjustment layer. Bump the contrast up a little bit, and then bring the brightness up a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a HSL layer, hue, saturation, and lighting. I'm going to adjust the red channel slightly to try grab some color in the sky. As you can see, it only affects just that little corner up there. I'm going to shift the hue of that to sort of magenta red. Bump the saturation up. Next, I'm going to try grab a color close to that color. So I have 2 different hues in the sky. I'm exaggerating and stretching the narrow range of color that the camera captured in the sky. There we go, got kind of a red and an orange. Then I'm going to do the same for the foliage. I'm going to grab another channel, the blue, get that to kind of a gold, maybe coral red color. I kind of like the yellow, that looks good. Then I'm going to touch another part of the plant with the color picker and adjust the hue of that. And it's kind of changing all of it at once, so I'm going to fine-tune what colors it's grabbing by sliding these little bars up here on the color wheel. There we go. It's just grabbing sort of the shadowed part there. Got a nice purple hue there. Bump that saturation up. Bump the other saturation up. There, that looks pretty good. I like how these colors came out, and I may use it in other images from this shoot, so I'm going to save it as a preset. There we go. Next, I'm going to add a gradient map adjustment layer. This remaps colors based on their luminosity. First, I'm going to change the blend mode to overlay. And then on the left here represents the shadows. I'm going to shift the color of the shadows to kind of a purple to exaggerate the effect we were getting before. There we go. And then the midtones, maybe a bluish color. Balance the warmth of the image. Something like that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to make the highlights warmer, yellowish orange color. I'm going to bias the midtones towards the shadows. And now I'm going to turn down the opacity to blend it nicely with our original colors. There we go. And that adds a nice overlay of colors to our old colors. Changes the mood a bit. Alright, this image is looking pretty good the way it is. I'm going to add one more little effect here. I'm going to merge all of our adjustments and the pixel layer into a single new layer by going to Layer and Merge Visible, or you can use the keyboard shortcut of Control Alt Shift and E. I'm going to do a pretty gentle blur of about 20 to 25 pixels is a good starting point. Yeah, that looks good right there. Now I'm going to go back to Filters and click Apply Image, and then use Current Layer as source. This allows us to blend the layer with itself, essentially. I'm going to use the blend mode of Multiply. And then the blend mode of this layer with all the layers below it is going to be Screen. This then creates a nice soft glow over the whole image, reminiscent of old infrared film. I'm going to turn down the opacity of it though, because this effect can be very overdone. Something subtle like that, that looks great. But it's a matter of taste. If you would like more, feel free to add more glow to it. Alright, I'm going to adjust the brightness and contrast one more time here. I think it needs a little more brightness. Touch more contrast. Great. I'm liking this image.